Hello and welcome to episode 71 of the HHH Racing Podcast. I'm your host, Howard Kravitz. Thanks for joining me tonight. Please make sure you subscribe on the right side of the screen. Hit that notification bell so you know when new content will rise on this podcast, on this YouTube channel. You can hit me up on Twitter at HKravitz. The spelling's on the name tag. Or you can email me, hkravitzhorse at gmail.com. Again, hkravitzhorse at gmail.com. A lot of things happening this week. Quick update on everything. Now is a great time to subscribe to that Race Day blog, ladies and gentlemen. Again, it renews at the beginning of every month. Next Race Day blog coming out Saturday. I'm going to cover a big, huge day at Saratoga. Plus, I believe a little Del Mar action as well and other spot plays. Check it out. Look below the video player in the description also for details about the Race Day blog. It is a growing blog. It's inexpensive. It's successful. Sign up for it now if you haven't done that. Again, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and then starting again this Sunday, go to inthemoneypodcast.com and you can read about my picks for Canterbury Park, which has had some big handle this week, over $1 million, $2 million plus in handle. Again, they race Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Because of my vacation, I took a week off from writing for the blog. That'll start again this Sunday. Quick correction on what's happening this week on the live streams, and I want to apologize. There will be no live stream tomorrow night because we are previewing the Saturday late pick 5 tonight. So there'll be no preview of the pick 5 for Friday, which, by the way, is Hall of Fame Day at Saratoga, where Todd Pletcher will be officially inducted into the Racing Hall of Fame. Congratulations to Todd Pletcher. Very well-deserved honor. One of the best trainers in the history of the sport. Certainly a top 2 or 3 trainer in my lifetime as well. He'll be inducted tomorrow. But anyway, there will not be a show tomorrow night, but there will be a show Saturday, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We will talk about the Sunday late pick 5 at Saratoga. And if you watched the show last night, I will be a guest on the Matt Bernier show next week. It is not a live show, but look for it in all the In the Money media outlets. I will be a guest on the Matt Bernier show for next week for the 4th time. Very excited to be a guest on his show. Now, I do not have a banner for this, but I need everyone listening very, very carefully. Whether you're watching live, and again, if you're watching live, thank you. Please make sure you chat on the right side of the screen. Or if you're watching a replay of this, please make sure you place comments below the video player. Love to hear what you have to say. This is very important. I do not have a banner for this. This is the first time I've mentioned this. I'd like to try something new. It's been done on other podcasts. I have not done it on this show. This Saturday at Saratoga, they have 3 Grade 1 races in a row. Three Grade 1 races in a row at Saratoga. And the first one starts at approximately 4:34 Eastern Standard Time. Approximately 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. Here's what I'd like to do. At 4:30 on Saturday, if you'd like to be a live guest, we're not going to really be handicapping. We're just going to be going over quickly, sort of rapid fire handicapping our picks for those 3 Grade 1s, and then we will be watching those 3 Grade 1 races live, right here, live on the HHH Racing Podcast YouTube channel. If you'd like to be one of our guest viewers to partially handicap, but also talk and cheer on your horse along with me as we watch those 3 Grade 1 races live. Again, this is Saturday at 4:30 Eastern. So you have to be available from 4:30 Eastern until about 5:30, 5:45 Eastern Standard Time. If that window works for you and you're a fan of the show and a fan of horse racing and you're going to be watching those, please email me. Again, do not send any messages below the video player. Do not put anything in the live chat right now. Email me, hkravitzhorse at gmail.com, and simply just make a comment in the email saying you'd like to be on my Saturday show. I can only take a few people. I'll probably take 3 or 4 people. Um, it will be sort of a contest draw. I'll just randomly put names in a hat if there are dozens of people that want to be on the show. And you can be right here on the show live on Saturday to watch the 3 Grade 1 races at Saratoga with me. We'll handicap the race briefly. We'll watch the race together. We'll talk about the race afterwards. It should be a lot of fun. It'll be about an hour-long show approximately. Again, if you'd like to do that, email me, hkravitzhorse@gmail.com. Again, I'm filming this Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. I need you to email your interest, I would say, at the very, very latest. Let's say noon Eastern Standard Time Saturday. Again, the deadline to email me will be noon Eastern Standard Time. Then what's going to happen is right after, approximately 12:15, again, about 12:15 Saturday, Eastern Standard Time, I will pick the 3 names and I will get in touch with you. I will email you right back. So if you are interested, please check your email between 12:15 and 12:45 on Saturday Eastern Standard Time so you know if you were selected, and I will get you the information. Hopefully all that makes sense to everyone. Again, you don't have to be watching this live to be eligible. Just make sure you email me by noon Eastern Time on Saturday if you want to be a live guest fan slash handicapper to watch the 3 Grade 1 races with me on Saturday live right here on the HHH Racing podcast. Would love for you to join me. Trish is very excited about Whitney Day, so am I, Trish. It's going to be fantastic. Very briefly, talking about today, today's pick 5 at Saratoga. Have you guys? So actually, I went to Arlington today, my home track. They have a huge day a week from Saturday, but I went there today with some family friends. Have you guys ever had a day? They only had 8 races there today. Have you ever had a day where like you couldn't hit the broadside of a bar in the first like 3 or 4? I mean, that was awful. Every trip, every horse I need got a bad trip. Pace didn't set up. Blah 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 blah. Right? Not doing well. Crushed the late double, got out for the day. Does that ever happen to you where you just can't do anything right for like 4 or 5 races in a row and then you just hit that one double or pick 3 or whatever you need at the end and you get out for the day plus some? That's what happened to me today. It was crazy. I was so frustrated and then bam, the horse racing gods smiled upon me. Speaking of smiling upon me, the horse racing gods, mixed results today at Saratoga in their pick 5. I was happy that I was completely correct. The Wesley Ward horse, No Time Alone. I'm just looking down at my phone here at the results. No Time Alone, who I disliked completely, did not win the first leg, finished second. So hopefully we're right about that. The second leg didn't work out for well, but the number 4 horse, Spectatorless, who I mentioned on this show as a very interesting, huge long shot speed horse, got out to about a 10-length lead. Top of the stretch, actually mid-stretch, had about a 6th-length lead. I have to be honest, I don't think the horse was going to win. I think he was tiring. Then jumps the fence. Fortunately, everyone's okay. I did have a small win bet on that horse, so I don't think he was going to win, to be very honest. I don't know if anyone out there bet Spectatorless, the 4 horse that jumped the fence at Saratoga today mid-stretch. But anyway, that was sort of crazy. Let's see what else. Bingo John came through for us and paid $9 in leg 3 today. The 1.125 allowance race for New York breds. Lone Rock. Boys, Lone Rock good right now. Won the Birdstone. A horse we talked about on this show, Sugar Ray 2. You remember me talking about that horse yesterday? If you watched the show, you know what I'm talking about. Sugar Ray 2 at a huge price. Split the 2 favorites, finished second. I will admit I liked Moretti. Moretti faded to third. But Sugar Ray 2, a horse we talked about on this show, I can't recall the odds. If anyone knows the odds of Sugar Ray 2 today in that Birdstone race, I think he was 21 plus. Finished second. And then The last race, the 9 was 3 4 wide every step of the way, and that horse just didn't pan out. So we had some mixed results today in the pick 5 at Saratoga. Horsey Dave is here. Horsey Dave knows exactly. I'll tell you, that's what brings you back to the track, right, Horsey Dave? It only takes 1 or 2 races. It's crazy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot of people watching the show. Let's get right in. We're going to go slightly longer today because this is the flagship show. So we'll go to approximately 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time today. Thank you, Jay. Jay said the horse was the horse that jumped, or excuse me, the 5 horse, Sugar Ray 2, was 22 to 1, and it was a $36 exacta. So thank you, Jay. Hopefully you were one of the people that hit that. I had the trifecta. Hopefully you guys had the trifecta there also and the exacta. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the late pick 5. It's Whitney Day. This is a fantastic sequence, and I have a huge conundrum. I've got an issue. I've got a major issue that I need your help with. So if you're watching live, or if you're watching this as a replay later, please make sure you comment below the video player. I have a major issue with the first leg of the pick 5. So let's jump right into it and talk about it right now. The late pick 5, and what a sequence it is. Again, starts at 4:34 Eastern Standard Time. And once again, just to reiterate, if you'd like to be a live guest on my show, I'm adding a show. It is not listed on my channel right now, but if you want to be a live guest to watch the 3 races together, we're also going to talk about the races beforehand, so you have to have handicapped them a little bit and have some opinions on the races. Please make sure you email me, hkravitzhorse@gmail.com, by 12 o'clock, by noon Eastern Standard Time on Saturday, and I will get back to you immediately if you will be someone on my show to watch these 3 races together. Here's my issue. The first leg, race 8. 3 grade 1s in a row. Unbelievable. 7 furlongs, restricted for 3-year-old fillies. It is the grade 1 test stakes. It's $500,000. I'm going to scroll through the field. Bob Baffert, who has now been allowed to enter horses at NYRA. I will not talk about my opinion on anything about that. We'll just talk about the horses. Bob Baffert enters his first horse at NYRA in quite a while with Johnny Velasquez, Illumination, 12 to 1. Excuse me. Need some water there. 12 to 1 morning line. Very speedy horse. One of my daughters, my girl, there she is. Super Sensational, who won the victory ride for me last month, is back. This time ridden by Ricardo Santana. Zagiel, who upset the Mother Goose for newly inducted Hall of Fame trainer by tomorrow, Todd Pletcher. And there she is. There's my other daughter. What do I do, guys? Obligatory, who won for us at 16.5 to 1 in the 8 bells. Ran very well in the Acorn. Obligatory is in this race. Always Karina, real nice horse for Chad Brown. Make Mischief, another horse for Mark Cassie. Search Results, finished a fantastic second to Malathot in the Kentucky Oaks. She's 4 for 5 for, again, Chad Brown and Klarovich. And then Bella Sophia, a fast, talented filly for Rudy Rodriguez. What an unbelievable field here in the grade 1 test to kick off this late pick 5. And I got to go full screen for a second here. What do I do, guys? It's like trying to pick your favorite child. Two of my daughters are in this race. I got Super Sensational and Obligatory. Not just one of them, and I can't pick both. What do I cheer for a dead heat between Obligatory and Super Sensational? Oh, I love both of them, and they're both in here. All right, well, we'll figure it out. Trish has an opinion. Trish says Obligatory should be my favorite daughter. Well, Trish, you're about to find out my opinion. This is a fantastic race. Let me go ahead and Jim has an idea for me. Box my 2 daughters. Sure, why not? That's a good idea. Let me tell you something. I think either one of them can win. I really do. They both have very big shots tomorrow. Horsey Dave prefers obligatory. All right, well, let's see. You guys are going to find out my selections here in just a second. Let me put my picks up, my ABC selections. Here they are. Are we ready? Maybe this will give you a clue on which favorite daughter I like. Bam. It is obligatory. I like obligatory a little more than supersational tomorrow. I just think obligatory is a slightly better animal. We'll find out. Let me go back to the PPs here. So there are my picks on the screen. Um, my very top choice in this race is actually neither of the daughters. It's the 5. Always Karina would be my top choice here. I really like the turn back for this horse. I think the turn back is going to work great. I don't think this is a need the lead type, even though she's been on the lead. And I will tell you something that means something to me. You can see Flavian Pratt is on Always Karina. Now, Flavian Pratt was on one of my daughters, Super Sensational, last time. I do not know the story behind the jockey situation, so that's a tricky game to play. However, the fact that Flavian decides to go with Always Karina to me is telling a little bit. This horse is very good. I like the turn back. Can be on the lead or just off. Is very talented. Been working like a train. I like Always Karina in this spot. My other two A's. Let's go to search results. This search results has done absolutely nothing wrong. My gut tells me search results will be a little bit further back in this race because it's only 7 furlongs. So I think search results will be a little bit further back than she's been recently. Super duper talented. See no reason why this horse also cannot win. I don't have anything negative to say at all about search results. And then one of my girls, obligatory. She absolutely fits. You could say the 8 Bells was a bit of an anomaly until the Acorn, where they went a slow pace in the Acorn, and I thought she ran huge in the Acorn, just losing to search results. We'll just show the end of that race. Search results is the 6, obligatory is the 2. We'll just go right to the end of the race here, and you see here's obligatory. Now she was being asked quite a bit on the turn. I think she's just a little bit of a lazy horse. Meanwhile, the 6 search results is just sitting there nice and chilly. Right here, you would have thought, you see obligatory is already under the whip. I just think this horse seems to be, kept busy. I really think that's what it is. They went pretty slow, 111, and right here, you would think obligatory is going to finish in fifth or, fifth out of the money. But she kept coming. And again, search results was on the wrong lead again. She's a little bit goofy still, but obligatory finished really, really well again in this race and backed it up and was very close right there to search results. So I think obligatory absolutely fits. She's still a little bit goofy, but she's very talented. Jose Ortiz, those are my top 3. My 4th choice would be Super Sensational. What I want to point out, one of the things I like about Super Sensational quite a bit is the fact that after she won the victory ride, she came back with another bullet. A 58-4. They sent her back to Churchill Downs, her home base, won another very fast work, came back to I apologize. That work was before the victory ride. I apologize, guys. Anyway, she was given the 2 weeks, and she did work very well again, though. 18 out of 113 at Saratoga. Sorry, that last bullet was actually before the 8 Bells. My point is she came back with another good work after the victory ride. I just think she's coming into her own. But going by overcharged and inject is not nearly the same as the horses she faces in this field. This is a very, very, very good field. And she's faced good horses. Something tells me obligatory is better. So those are my, that's a B for me. I'm going to use Zagil as a C. I suppose she can win. I'm not sure. I don't know. That race last time came out of nowhere. Maybe she's just getting better. Todd at a price. Maybe I'm underestimating her, but again, you can't take every horse in here. And Bella Sophia, I'm also using as a C. mainly because the distance. She's been going 6. She's got to get an extra furlong against the best 3-year-old fillies in the country. It's a big step up. She's talented, but this is a lot to ask for her in this spot, even though she has a cozy outside post. A fantastic rendition of the Grade 1 test. Once again, my top choices in order would be always Karina, the 5. I would probably go obligatory because of the pace situation in second, and I would go search results because I'm not 100% positive about the shorter distance, and she's still a little bit goofy with her lead changes. But obviously, there are many horses that can win the test. What's your opinion of the test? It's a fantastic race. I can't wait for it. There are a bunch of you that are going to be watching live with me on Saturday, as long as you let me know through email that you are interested here. Let's see comments here. Horsey Dave, search results, a fantastic workout. She's feeling great. Absolutely can win. Also mentions always Karina. Fastest lifetime work at the distance, cranked up. Totally agree. Jay said, where's the Baffert horse? I'll tell you what, Jay. I don't like the Baffert horse here at all. And let me make this very clear to everyone. This has absolutely nothing to do with Bob Baffert. If this horse was trained by Joe Schmo, I wouldn't like this horse. She ran well last time. That was a very weak field. She beat a weak field of maidens. She's got the rail. There's a ton of other speed in this race. I cannot imagine this horse winning. I see no scenario in which this horse can win. Unless she like outbreaks everyone and there's a bunch of horses that break slow and she gets loose, I guess. I don't know. She's coming into her own. She's working well. She's talented. This is just a very, very difficult spot. I'm not going to use the one at all. If she beats me, she beats me. That's the way it goes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go on to the next race. We've got another grade 1. And this grade 1, you've got to do your homework for sure. Let me go ahead and switch my picks, and we will go through the next race. There are my picks right there for, hold on just one second. I want to take a comment off the screen we're all good. All right. There are my picks for the next race. This is the grade 1, mile and 3/16 on the turf for 3-year-olds. This is the grade 1 Saratoga Derby Invitational. It's the second leg of the turf triple. It is for $1 million. This one is for the boys. The first race, the Belmont Derby, was won by a horse that is in this race, and that name should sound familiar. Number 6, Bolshoi Ballet, who is one of my top choices in this race. Won the race. Andy Serling was on my show when we previewed this horse for the Belmont Derby race. He was our choice. He was both of Andy's and my choice to win this race. And let me tell you something. Bolshoi Ballet ran huge. Forget about this 86 buyer. Bolshoi Ballet was bottled up. We're not going to watch the whole replay. Feel free to go back and watch the replay yourself, or you can watch my preview for the. Actually, I did a weekend recap for this. Go watch my weekend recap of the Belmont Derby Stars and Stripes weekend, and we can get into more details about the replay. But he was bottled up for a big part of this race, was shuffled back, angled out, went past everyone. It was a slow pace. Believe me, this was a much better effort than that 86 shows. Bolshoi Ballet is another big threat, but this race is tougher than the last race. By the way, Ryan Moore back in the saddle to ride for Aidan O'Brien. Let me very, very quickly go through the field because we do have more time tonight. There are many Euros in this race. We'll talk about them. The one is Soldier Rising. This was a private purchase for American Connections, Madacat Stables, and Michael Dubb, LLC. Now trained by Christopher Clement, was trained by a pretty darn good trainer overseas, Andre Fabre. You have De Jour. This was a new horse for Mott last time, ran in the Belmont Derby against Bolshoi Ballet. Palazzi also ran against Bolshoi Ballet in the Belmont Derby. Cadillac, a horse that might sound familiar. Yes, Cadillac ran last year in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf against Fire at Will, Battleground, etc., and ran pretty well at Keeneland. He is back in the United States here. Shane Foley will come in. His regular rider will come in for the ride. Yes, this time will be a long shot for Kelly Breen. There's Bolshoi Ballet. Secret Protector, another Euro for Charles Appleby, who's been very successful. Who's Charles Appleby? Yeah, he's the trainer who's the trainer of some very talented ladies that have done very well in the two-turn filly and mare turf division. Does the name Althea and Summer Romance, do those names ring a bell? That's right. That's the trainer, Charles Appleby, here with a horse named Secret Protector for Godolphin. Mike Smith will take the ride. Cellist. I actually heard someone pronounce this horse Cellist, and I almost threw up. Come on, people. No, it was on national TV. I'm not going to say who. Know how to pronounce names. Do your word research. This is Cellist for George Arnold. Another Euro for Joseph O'Brien. Johnny V is going to take the mount. State of Rest. A very interesting Irish bred, 10-1 morning line. Flashiest, going to be a huge price coming in from the West Coast. And then King Fury, who was on the Kentucky, well, I wouldn't say the Kentucky Derby trail, but won the Lexington and ran very well in the Ohio Derby, making his first start on turf. A lot to unpack in this race, race 9. You already see my picks there on the screen, correct? Okay, so the picks are on the screen. I already talked about Bolshoi Ballet. Bolshoi Ballet is not my top pick in this race. Not my top pick. My top pick in this race is going to be the number 4, Cadillac. I do not have the replay of the last race of Cadillac. I apologize for that. Feel free to watch it on YouTube, or you can find it in many other locations on your ADW. There are a few things I like about Cadillac, other than the name. First of all, he ran very well last year. He was not a superstar, but he ran well last year. Ran well in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf. Finished 4th. Was a credible effort. That last race was impressive, and there are a few things I like. First of all, that last race was 1.25 miles. This horse had stretched. This is the first time this horse stretched out to the near distance of the race on Saturday, and he won. So obviously, Cadillac can handle the distance. Not only that, he showed a serious turn of foot, splitting horses, and beat older. See this 3 arrow right there where my cursor is there? He was going against older. Pretty good horses. Dawn Patrol and True Self. Those are good horses. Here's the third thing I like. He was carrying 130 last time. Saturday, only 122. And Shane Foley, his regular rider, is coming all the way over here. I think there's a lot of intention. This horse has had a good month to recover from that last race. I think this is a serious horse. My top choice is the number 4, Cadillac. Secret Protector. Let's talk about him for a little bit. By the way, I want to point out with the 6, you see these time form ratings there. They're similar to Beyers. These are basically European Beyers. You see Bolshoi Ballet 99, 114, 90. Okay. Cadillac, very similar, right? It was in the high mid 90s, then flashed to 111. Keep that in mind because Secret Protector is a little bit slower. 104, 98, 109, not that much slower though. I have this horse as a B, mainly because he has not been facing these types of horses. He's been in listed stakes and grade 3s. Muhafeth, who he's lost to, is a very nice horse. However, the rest of the horses are not as good. My feeling and my research tells me that Secret Protector is a slightly less classy animal than Bolshoi Ballet and Cadillac. But Secret Protector can absolutely win the race. The other horse I'd use as a C is another Euro. State of Rest. My issue here, this horse is by Star Spangled Banner, Who's Star Spangled Banner? I'm talking about the sire now. This is an Australian bred who is very speedy. This was a sprinter. This horse has a lot of sprint pedigree. The dam side, by the way, was unraced. And when you look at the siblings, they were unraced. Look at the family tree. You see everything here on the male side. This is all sprint, sprint, sprint. Okay? And the dam side is a little more stamina, but these are horses that have not run other than Quiet American. To go from a mile to a mile and 3/16 against this field is a big ask. Plus, this horse just looks slow to me. I'll use this horse as a C out of respect to Joseph O'Brien and Johnny V. Um, but that's all I'm going to use. You're wondering, Howard, where all the, well, by the way, the one just looks too darn slow. The one is, again, look at these ratings. The highest is an 88. Has been in, just allowance races and a listed stake. This is a monster step up. I just don't see it happening for the one. Maybe you can get a piece. I don't know. If you're wondering, where in the world are the Americans? Exactly. Guys, this is a mile and 3/16 turf race. This is not what the Americans are bred to do. The males are just not good enough in this field. I feel strongly about that because Bolshoi Ballet had 3 or 4 lengths of trouble and still beat a lot of these horses by a length. And there are better Euros in this race. I have no interest in touching any American. If an American horse wins this race, I will be absolutely shocked. And I'll be tearing up my tickets because they will be losing tickets. I see we have a few comments in regards to this race. Horsey Dave likes Palazzi. Give excuses the last 2 races with Tyler. What's left? Okay, Horsey Dave. But here's my deal with Horsey Dave. I respect your opinion, but his good races aren't good enough. I mean, if he runs his best race, he's still not good enough. Palazzi has had a little bit of trouble. I have taken notice. I just don't think he's nearly talented enough. I do respect your opinion, of course. Trish says that Bolshoi Ballet is a prime power number that towers over the field. Bolshoi Ballet is very good, Trish. I think Cadillac matches up with him, though. I really, really do. Horsey Dave, that is misleading. Very misleading because, again, Bolshoi Ballet had 3 to 4 lengths of trouble. So I'd say Palazzi was 6 or 7 lengths worse than Bolshoi Ballet. Just my opinion. We'll see. Could be wrong. Jay wants to know if the 11 will take to the turf. I don't think so. I took a look at the 11. Let's take a look at the breeding of the 11 there real quick for you, Jay. Obviously, you got Curlin, who can sire, turf horses. His turf routes have won $10 million. So, turf horses. So, I mean, you want to see some of the turf horses that he's got. I mean, Curlin's got $1 million. Texas Riano, maybe a horse ran on the West Coast, was a nice turf horse, and we don't have time to go through all this. I mean, he can throw a turf horse. They're top of mind. I mean, he can throw a turf horse for sure. My issue is the dam side. Terrace was a very good horse, but a sprinter on dirt. You can go back and look at the family tree. Flatter, comedy. Okay, a little bit of turf, but nothing really special. I don't know. I think this is just, let's just throw this horse in here and see what the horse can do. That's my feeling there, Jay, of that horse. So, one more comment. Horsey Dave. Wow. I'll tell you what, Horsey Dave. I will, if you want to bet Palazzi versus Bolshoi Ballet, Dave, hold on a second. We got to go full screen. Horsey Dave, for all the world to see, if you want to put a side wager on Bolshoi versus Palazzi, you got it. You just name the price, and I'm there. Because if Palazzi beats Bolshoi Ballet, I will be very surprised. I don't see it. He's just clarifying that said Palazzi had more trouble. Maybe. I don't watch the replay. We got other things to talk about. I hear you. But again, you want to... Oh, what do you mean odds? If you love Palazzi, Horsey Dave, this should be straight up. I need some help out there. People in the chat. Should I give him odds? Why am I giving you anything? I'll tell you what. I'll tell you do this just for fun, side wager. I will give you 2 lengths since you're so confident. I think Bolshoi Ballet will beat Pilates by more than 2 lengths. You talk to you get back to me and tell me what you think about that. I'll take Bolshoi Ballet -2 as in lengths. Okay, thanks, Charles. Exactly, Charles. I agree with you, Charles. It should be straight up. Come on, Horsey Dave. All right. Anyway, oh man, I love my viewers on this show. Uh-oh, he wants the bet. Is this for 2 lengths, right? I'm assuming he's going 2 lengths. Oh, Jim, wait a minute. Jim wants a piece of this action. Oh boy, even Gemini says straight up, no. I'm so confident. I'm gonna give him 2 lengths. I'm gonna give him 2 lengths. Horsey Dave, email me and we'll talk about it off air. Or maybe we'll have you on the live show and we'll talk about it then. It should be just straight up, really, but we'll talk about it. All right, let's go on to the next race, guys. This is going to be won by a Euro. I feel very confident to say that race is going to be won by a European horse. The next race. This is the big one, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Whitney. Grade 1. Older males, 4-year-olds and up. They're going 1.1 miles on the dirt. It's a small field, but boy, is this a talented field. You got, by my standards, who is a huge fan of one of my viewers. I know there's a viewer. I don't believe he's on live right now. I have a viewer that thinks by my standards is like one of the top 4 or 5 dirt horses in the country. I respectfully disagree, but I know there's a viewer that loves by my standards. And by my standards is going to have a chance to prove how good he is. 10-1 morning line from the rail for Brett Calhoun, winner of $2.25 million. Silver State, a horse that I will tell you what, I will completely admit I've been wrong several times about this horse. I've bet against this horse many times, and this horse just keeps beating me. He has won 6 races in a row, won 1.76 million. By the way, a very interesting point about this race that has absolutely nothing to do with handicapping, but this is interesting. By my standards, 7 lifetime wins. Silver State, 7 lifetime wins. Another daughter. This is another daughter of mine. Although she's been on my naughty list. She's been put in the corner. I've given her a timeout because of her last race. Swiss Skydiver, with a new rider, by the way, Irad Ortiz. How many lifetime wins for Swiss Skydiver? That's right, 7 lifetime wins, over 2.1 million. An absolute speed freak, a freakazoid. K-Nix Go, winner of $4.8 million. Lifetime wins? Anyone out there want to guess? Put in the chat. How many lifetime wins, without looking, does K-Nix Go have? Yeah, that's right. 7. Again, 7 lifetime wins. And then Maxfield. Anyone want to take a wild guess on the number of lifetime wins for Maxfield? Isn't that bizarre? I've never seen that in my entire life in a stake race of experienced horses. Sure, you see, condition race, you see, all the horses win 1 race, win 2 races, whatever. Every single horse in this race in a grade 1 has won 7 races. I'm going to guess that's never happened before, ever, that the entire field has the same number of wins. If anyone has stats on that, I'd love to hear that. Maxfield, 8-5 morning line for Brendan Walsh, winner of $1.26 million. Trish, you are correct. Good guess, Trish, on the 7. Trish, you're probably like one of those when you were a student, you were like the first one to have your hand up raised, right? I love the enthusiastic students out there. All right, let's get into this race, guys. It's a small field. I didn't bring up my choices. Is Howard going with his girl, Swiss Skydiver? Dramatic pause. Feel free to put in the live chat. Is Swiss Skydiver an A for Howard. I'm going to do the dramatic. I'll put it up in about 30 seconds. Type in the chat right now. We got a lot of people viewing. Is Swiss Skydiver an A horse for me? Yes or no? Is Swiss Skydiver an A? Type in the chat. You got about 20 more seconds to do that as I bring it up. Charles says it's going to be Swiss is going to be a B. It's already done. So guys, I can't change it. James says no, not an A. Gemini says no. Kyle Roscoe. Kyle, how you doing? Kyle in the show. Kyle says yes. I got to represent for the brand. Charles says no. Horsey Dave said Horsey Dave. It's a she. If you call Swiss Skydiver a he, that bet might be off on Bullshit Ballet. Janet. Hello, Janet. Thanks for joining the show tonight. Janet says yes. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Here are my picks for the race. Swiss Skydiver, a B. A B as in boy. I have to go with K-Nix Go as the only A. K-Nix Go looks loose. Again, I really wish there was a speed horse here in this race to go with K-Nix Go. I really, really wish there's a speed horse here for K-Nix Go. There just isn't, guys and ladies. K-Nix Go looks loose again. Distance should not be a problem. Has been working well. Got back on the groove going 2 turns in the Cornhusker. Certainly this is a much tougher field. I just don't, if K-Nix Go breaks, I just don't see anyone that can really, really press him. And he's just deadly on the lead. Is he the best 2-turn dirt horse in the country? I don't think so. I think the 3-year-olds are actually better. But in this scenario, I just think K-Nix Go is going to be really tough in this race. But let's talk about my B horses. There's really not too much to say about K-Nix Go. He should be on the lead, and he's going to be tough to beat, carrying 124. Let's talk about Swiss Skydiver for a minute here. I still like Swiss Skydiver as a horse. I really like this horse. I love the jockey switch. No disrespect to Robbie Alvarado. How can you not like the jockey switch to Irad? I have 2 major concerns with Swiss Skydiver in this race. Excuse me, guys. I got a little bit of a sore throat here. I have 2 major concerns with Swiss Skydiver in this race on Saturday. I'm gonna actually go ahead and full screen just so I can emphasize how I feel here. 2 main issues with Swiss Skydiver. Number 1, there was a virus that went through a barn close to Ken McPeak, I believe, and his horses had to be quarantined. And so Swiss Skydiver has always been fine. She's never been sick. There's been no issues with Skydiver other than the fact they wanted to run her before Saturday. So she's missed a start that she wanted, that McPeak wanted to run Swiss Skydiver in. That's one concern. The other concern, and I've talked about this ad nauseum with this horse, I really think this horse is better on the outside. She is a big horse. She looks like a male. She's a big strapping horse. I think she wants to be in the clear on the outside. That's her best case scenario. And the problem is right to her outside is K-Nix Go. So if I'm Irad, you've got to send. You just have to go with Swiss Skydiver hard. Hear me out. The first 4 or 5 jumps in the hopes that you get in front of the 1 by my standards and the 2 Silver State. Then what I think will happen is the 4 is just a faster horse. The 4 will be on the lead. And then what I hope will happen is Swiss Skydiver, who will be on the rail in second, will angle out and get to the outside. And it'll be K-Nix Go on the lead and Swiss Skydiver stalking on the outside in second by the top of the backstretch. Something like that. If Swiss Skydiver is not sent, then she could be 2 or 3 wide on the first turn. And she's not going to be in the position she needs to be. She needs to be up close to have any chance at all in this race. I don't want her battling K-Nix Go. That is going to be a losing proposition. but I'm hoping Swiss Skydiver, gets to the lead, clears to the rail, lets K-Nix go because he's just faster, then comes to the outside. Then I give her an outside chance. But really, K-Nix is just the better horse, guys. Tell me your opinion. Do you want to see Swiss come from off the pace? Would you prefer her battling, just take it to K-Nix and try to get the lead and bottom out the field? If you like Swiss Skydiver, give me your best case scenario of what would happen in the chat on the right side of the screen there. Let me go ahead and bring up some comments. Trish wants a repeat of the Preakness. Trish, just to clarify, you said you think she'll be an overlay. Again, an overlay. That's correct. I'm sorry. I hate those two words. Always confusing. Double digit odds. No way, Trish. No way, Trish. Sorry. Swiss Skydiver is not going to be double digit odds. First of all, it's only a 5-horse field, Trish. Secondly, she's got a fan following. I would say, what is she, 4-1 morning line? She's 6-1 morning line. Yeah, I think she'll be like 5-1, 9-2. You're not getting double digits, Trish. Sorry. Brad, you were correct. Brad. Thanks for joining the show. You were correct. Swiss was not an A. Kyle says that he agrees with me. If anyone wants a shot, they have to press K-Nix go. I agree, Kyle, but here's the problem. If you press K-Nix go, are you sacrificing yourself? Right? It's such a major issue. I'm not saying it's wrong to do it. I'm just saying, are you sacrificing yourself if you do? Real tough. I agree with you, Kyle, and I also agree with Trish that I want a, Preakness kind of ride. Totally agree. Horsey Dave agrees with me. Good. Charles wants his horse to be off the pace. Don't have a problem with that. Jim says he likes Swiss Guy versus stalking. Yeah, K-Nix Go is just faster. Jim is going to use Swiss as an A also. Okay. Anyway, a lot of great comments. Let's go ahead and keep going here with our show. The other B horse that I would use is Maxfield. Maxfield has looked really good, but he has not faced these type of horses. This is the best field Maxfield has faced by far. The last time he faced a field even remotely close to that was in the San Diego Handicap when he lost to Idol and Express Train. So, can Maxfield win? Sure. But I think he's up against it just from a pure speed standpoint. But he's going to get a nice clear chip. Maybe this is the horse that's going to be pressing K-Nix Go. I don't think he's fast enough to do it, though. But maybe Jose Ortiz will be very aggressive from there. And then I have to put this Silver State as a C because I can't have this horse beat me again. But I'm just going to repeat things I've been saying all along. Silver State just getting unbelievable trips and has a nose for the wire. I don't think this horse is fast enough. No disrespect to Asmussen and Santana. This horse has beat me before. I'm going to let Silver State beat me again. If he wins this race, I'm sold. Okay, flat out. Let me go. I'm going to go full screen. Oh, sorry, guys. I didn't switch. I apologize. So if Silver State wins this race, I will just bow down to Asmussen and Santana and say, look, you get all my full respect now. You can win the Breeders' Cup Classic, blah, blah, blah. I don't see it. I don't think he's that good. Again, we'll see what happens. It's a great race. Okay, everyone's wondering, where is By My Standards, Howard? I don't think By My Standards classes up. I don't think he really ever classed up. He was very good at one point last year. Even his very good is not good enough to beat this field. Or at least not good enough to beat K-Nix Go for sure. And probably not good enough to beat Maxfield. And maybe not good enough to beat Silver State or Swiss Skydiver on their best day. I don't see it. I don't see it all for By My Standards. Good luck to the connections there. Anyway, it's a great race. The Whitney, it's going to be fantastic. K-Nix Go, they're going to have to run him down. I'm hoping for a fantastic clean run race. Now, there are two other races in this sequence because the racing does not end with these grade ones. But by the way, one last time, if you want to be on the show live Saturday, email me by noon Eastern Standard Time Saturday. You'll have a chance to be with me live, watching the races together, talking about the grade ones. Again, you have to be available from about 4:30 Eastern to 5:30, 5:45 Eastern. Let me just check real quick. Actually, it's a little bit later. The Whitney goes off at 5:48 Eastern Standard Time. So really, you need to be available, ideally through 5:50, 5:55, 6. So, about again from approximately 4:30 to 6, that about 90-minute window. If you could be available during that time, again, email me and let me know. Quick, real comments before I go on, Jim. Jim, I totally agree. I just he's very good though right now. I mean, full credit. I just don't see it. Janet, either Koenigsegg or Swiss. That's a very strong possibility. Very strong possibility. I think you have to throw Maxfield in there. I just think those three are the three best horses. Maybe I'm overestimating Swiss Skydiver too. Again, I wish she was on the outside. I wish she had a race. Not the best case scenario. I'm just a fan of her. Maybe too much of a fan. And if she doesn't win, by the way, I don't want all the haters coming out saying, "See, Howard, you were wrong again. Swiss Skydiver sucks." This is a very talented horse. She needs the right situation. I'm not sure Saturday's the right situation for her. We'll see. Let's move on. Race 11. There are still two more races in this sequence, and they're very good ones. There are my picks for race 11. Race 11 is a dirt race. It's a mile and eighth allowance, optional 80,000, non-winners of 2, lifetime. I feel pretty good about these two horses. Let me talk about my top two picks here. Superfecto, 7-2 morning line. I've seen this horse run a few times. This is a lazy big horse. I think this horse is going to continue to improve with age. Last race got his highest buyer, which was a 90. Ran a good race against highest honors. Was battling a very fast pace there. The race collapsed. He's been working well since. He's got the rail. I think Johnny V is sending. I think this horse can get the distance. I think this is the best speed in the race. I really like Superfecto, especially if he can work out a trip from the inside. There's other speed in this race, however. Let me just switch to the other speed. You've got Empty Tomb, who will definitely show speed. Musical Heart, the 1A, will show speed. Lost in Rome will definitely be showing speed. So there is other speed in here for Superfecto to contend with. And this is a dirt race. So my assumption is because it's not on turf, because whenever these jockeys see green, it really means red, as in stop sign, as in let's not battle each other, because we don't want to give our horses the best chance to win. So let's just let someone get loose and win the race. But this is a dirt race. Can you hear the sarcasm? By the way, can you hear the sarcasm? This is a dirt race, however. So there's a chance that the pace will heat up here. Superfecto to me is my favorite speed horse. Risk Taking is my other 8. We all know Risk Taking was on the Kentucky Derby Trail, ran a big race in the Withers, was horrible in his last 2 spots. Risk Taking was scratched out of a race, I believe, last week, if I recall, or recently, for this spot. To me, this is the best closer in this race. He's been working well. I still think there's talent there. I think Risk Taking has a big shot, a little bit of a price in this allowance race. I would also use 156. I would prefer the 1A. Danny California, I do not like as much. I'd prefer the 1A Musical Heart, even though he also has speed. They're both in for the 80,000, by the way. But again, there's a bunch of other speed in this race. So I'm a little concerned about the fact he didn't run well in his last race. although it was a very fast pace, and they're dropping in for 80. But he's got numbers that fit. If Musical Heart is scratched and it's only Danny California, I would probably toss out the 1 completely. So the 1A is the horse I like much better than the 1. Empty Tomb is a horse I've bet and seen many times. He got really good in his second and third start back, ran very well. Ran okay in the Stephen Foster, not great. It was a fast paced. He was battling. Don't love him here in this spot. I guess he's not impossible. And then Air Attack, who actually I'd probably be more interested in. A little more lightly raced. I know he looks slow, but his second and third start back were huge. He closed going a distance of ground. If you just toss out the last race, maybe you just needed a break. If the pace collapses, I think Air Attack is the one that can close and win, along with my A risk taking. And then you could throw the 8 in there as a C, Chestertown. This is a horse I've sort of always had a thing for because I thought he was talented. He also cost $2 million. And this has got to hurt. See this G right here, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, they finally had to geld him. When you geld a $2 million buy, not a good thing. This horse has always been goofy, erratic. And they finally said, you know what? I got to cut you. I'm sorry about that. And so he's got the ultimate equipment change. Maybe that's going to do this horse good, but he has to improve to win this race. My top choice is, again, 2 and 3. I think my top choice would be risk-taking. And pun intended, of course, that is a risk because he's slightly slower. I just have a feeling he's coming into a good race here, and I think the pace sets up for him. Let's go back and see what comments people have, if any, about this race. Gemini likes Danny California. He's getting a fast track. Good point about the bias. Gemini just feels like Danny California is going in the wrong direction, is my general thought there. Trish thinks Air Attack is interesting. I do agree with you, Trish. Horsey Dave wants to talk about Candy Tycoon. By the way, Horsey, who's better? Palazzi or Candy Tycoon? Oh, man, I'm such a smartass. I'm just kidding, Horsey Dave. Let's see. That was against Optional 16. He's coming out of a live race, and Pletcher's good off of layoffs. Good points. Good points, Horsey Dave. It is Pletcher off a layoff. Coming out of a live race, okay. He just looks slow to me, Horsey Dave. I don't know. He looks very slow to me. He got a real good trip, by the way, in that race where he got an 87 at Oklahoma. I remember the race. But it is second off the layoff. He's got a lot of improving to do, Horsey Dave, in my humble opinion. Let's see. All right. Horsey Dave is, listen, if Palazzi or the Tycoon horse wins, Horsey Dave, I will come on. I'll talk about it live on Saturday. Well, at least about Palazzi. We're not going to see this race live. I will come on my next live podcast and I will give you full kudos, Horsey Dave. So if you're like Horsey, Palazzi and what's the name of this horse? And Candy Tycoon. Go to the window if you're Horsey Dave. If you're like me, no. Don't touch either one. We'll see who's correct on Saturday. Wow. Okay, guys. Listen, it's live. He's going to make a nice donation to the PDJF. I'm going to tell him, Horsey Dave, if one of those horses wins, I'm going to call my guy, Jerry LaSala and Nancy LaSala, and tell them to look for a big donation from a Horsey Dave. If it's not there, I'm calling you out. Calling you out, big guy. All right, let's get on to the last race. We've had way too much fun on this show today. Ralph, real quick. Once my golfing was amazing, Ralph. I talked about it on the show a little bit last night. If you follow me on Twitter, I sent out my tee shot on 18 at Pebble Beach and my final putt on 18. I thought my swing was pretty good. I crushed my drive on 18 right down the middle. I know you can't tell by the video. I honestly did. Other shots, not so much. The green's very tough at Pebble Beach, Ralph, by the way. Pebble Beach greens, small, very difficult, but had a great time. Thank you. I appreciate that, Ralph. All right, let's get into the last race, guys, because we're starting to run a little bit long, and I don't want to be the guy that rambles. We still have one more race to cover. This is the last race of the Pick 5. If you are still alive, like hopefully myself and everyone out there, this is a tough race. I'm going with 3A's in the last race. It is my least favorite kind of race, as you guys know. It is a turf sprint, 5.5 furlongs, 3-year-olds and up. It's an allowance. Non-winners of one other than. Again, thank you very much. We've got a big crowd watching live today. Really appreciate all you live viewers out there watching. Please make sure you get your friends to watch the show. And again, I'll be sending out info. Well, let me just finish this race, and we'll talk again about Saturday, the live show. My top choices in this race are 3, 6, and 10. In no particular order, Sussex Garden ran very well in Europe, going 6 furlongs. Just want to point that out. Uh, Second in a grade 3. Didn't run very well. Sorry, York. However, that was as a 2-year-old. She's very talented. I thought she ran well, probably going a distance further than she wants against a really nice horse in Runaway Rumor. I like the turn back here in distance and the blinkers on for Castellano, who, by the way, won a race since we talked and bashed him a little bit on this show. I didn't bash him. Some of the viewers did. That he's won since. The number 6, Risky Mischief. A horse coming off a long layoff, but Engelhardt can do this off of layoffs. New York bred, who's got good sprint turf form and gets IRAD in this race. And then number 10, Baystorm. Also coming off a layoff for another good trainer, Jonathan Thomas, first time Lasix, first time start as a 3-year-old, can close and come off the pace. I'm expecting a huge buyer jump here from the 10. Those are my top 3 picks. I would use the 5. There are 2 Wesley Wards in this race. This is one of them. Train to Artemis, who only ran one race on turf last year as a 2-year-old, then got a decent number in the slop. Throughout that dirt race, this is not a dirt horse at all. Has been training well since. Wesley Ward is obviously extremely good off the layoff. This horse is bred to run on turf. You're not going to get 15 to 1. This horse is probably more like 10 to 1 or 8 to 1. I think she's live. I'm not using the 7 time limit. I think there's too much speed in this race. I don't like the upside for time limit. I'm not using Bay Jewel. Defensively, I'd use the other Wesley Ward for Tyler G. This is Spicy Marge, who looks similar to the 5. My gut feeling is the 5 is a better horse, even though she's coming off the layoff. The 9 looks like an all or nothing type for sure. And then the 11, Miner's Queen, also has speed and is in good form for Atchison, but the upside isn't there. So again, I'm going horses that have upside, ladies and gentlemen. The 3 is lightly raced and got an 80 buyer. The 6 had 80 buyers last year as a 3-year-old, could improve. First start as a 4-year-old. And then the 10, first start as a 3-year-old, only 2 lifetime starts. I'm playing more the upside angle. This is a very tough race. I would highly recommend you spread as much as possible in the last race, which is a turf sprint. Charles, you have an excellent point. It obviously could pace Meltdown. He likes the 12. I looked at the 12. Let me look one time. Charles, the 12 is not really a closer, though. You see the late time form, only 58. If you're looking for a closer, according to time form, I think the 10 with an 81 and the 8, let me just scroll through, 8 and 10. Actually, the 3 is the best closer, just for everyone's knowledge, based on the time form US. The 3 is the best closer, and then the 8 and the 10 would be the other best closers. The 12 is actually really more speed and is not really a closer, more mid-packer up close. So I just wanted to make that point to you, Charles, but I do agree it could melt down. I'm just not sure who that would be. I hate to say this, but I actually agree with Horsey Dave a little more that if it's a meltdown, I think that could be the 10 more likely, but we'll see what happens. All right, Charles, no problem. That's why we have this show. Let's go ahead and talk about my. We've had what a fun show we've had tonight. Appreciate you. And by the way, uh, let me take the. Sorry, I'm switching all around here. Uh, so I tried to get a few viewer guests on tonight. There were two people that were interested that I thought I could get on, but we had some conflicts, so I went solo tonight. We will have more. I'm working on also getting on some well-known viewers again on the show. Listen, I only have a certain amount of connections, guys. I'm not a trainer, I'm not an owner, I'm not a whatever. So I've had some great connections. We'll hopefully we'll get Matt Bernier on the show. We'll start getting some repeat people. I do have a Wesley Ward connection. I'm not guaranteeing anything, but there's a possibility that I could get Wesley Ward on this show. That'd be some street cred. How cool would that be if we got Wesley Ward on the show? I'm going to work on that. No promises. So let's get into my caveman. There's my caveman selection. I gotta learn to sit up better. I think I need a better chair. Gotta invest in that too. Let's talk about my caveman selections. You see it on the screen there. 2457. That is my two daughters, super sensational and obligatory, along with always Karina and search results. I'm only going too deep. And no, Horsey Dave, I do not have Palazzi in my caveman pick 5. Sorry. By the way, I will update everyone on the live show Saturday, assuming that live show happens, on what the bet is with Horsey Dave. It's going to be something with Palazzi versus Bolshoi Ballet. Root on whoever you'd like. We'll see what happens with that. I'm only going Bolshoi Ballet and Cadillac on this caveman. But again, I want to make this very clear to everyone. What you see down here, what you see here, okay, just a kind of rough caveman ticket. I play ABCs. I'm going to have other horses other than those 2 euros. All right. If I was on a budget, which I know many of you are, absolutely fine. I get it. No problem. For those of you on a budget or prefer caveman tickets, you don't always have to single in a pick 5, right? If I were to single, I think the singles Canix go. Sorry, Swiss. I'll give you a nice little, rub on the shoulder blade because you're still one of my daughters, but Canix Go just would be my most likely winner of the sequence to me. I would spread in that mile and eighth dirt race. I've got many in there. And then I would go 3, 5, 6, 10. And I would feel pretty good about that. I think you have to go deep late in this ticket, is my general impression. I think you take stands in the grade 1s and you go deeper in the last 2. Just my opinion. There's an $80 caveman ticket. What's your opinion of my caveman ticket? I'll go ahead and leave it up there as we finish off the show and talk about some comments here. Dean G. Dean, thanks for joining the show. What do you need technical-wise to be a guest handicapper? Oh, good question, Dean. I thought for a second you were asking me how do you handicap races. All you need, Dean, is a camera and a microphone. You can be a guest on your cell phone. You can be a guest of mine on your PC, on an iPad, on a tablet, basically anything, as long as it has a camera and you can speak into it and there's a mic. That's it. That's all you need, Dean. Just to let you know. Do not do that. Don't do that. Do not add Palazzi if you want. Let's see. Adam Bricker. Adam, I'm not familiar with your name. Adam, if you're a new viewer, thank you very much for joining the show. Greatly appreciate it. Wow. Wow. Throwing shade towards JK. Uh, listen, I like favorites too. JK, by the way, JK and I'd say, are somewhat similar in our handicapping personalities. We will take stands. JK definitely likes the favorites, but he'll throw some long shots in there. And listen, all full respect to Jonathan Kitchen. He's accomplished a million times more in this game from a handicapping perspective than I have. He's played a lot more contests. I've just started getting into the contest world, frankly, in the last year or two. And I've had some pretty good successes, mainly in live money contests. I have come like this close a few times qualifying for the NHC and the BCBC. Hopefully, I'll be doing that soon. It's not easy. But Adam, thank you for your comment. I appreciate you joining the show. Adam, if you're relatively new to the show, get some friends on. Make sure you subscribe on the on that side of the screen, and make sure you get some. Join my race day blog. Any of you new viewers, really appreciate it. We need to keep growing the channel. Thank you very much. Uh, yeah. Okay. No problem. No, I knew you weren't, Adam. I was just giving you a hard time. But listen, it's hard to be a public handicapper. I've gotten shade thrown my way. I'm wrong a bunch of times, but I'm also have been successful with a bunch of bets as well. So it's a tough game, of course, for everyone. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's going to, for the most part, do it. Let me take a few things off. And once again, let me remind everyone, and I should have put a banner up for this, but I don't have one. Um, so the next time, here's what we're going to do again. I'm going to take off the. So one last time, and thank you everyone for joining the show tonight. We had a fantastic audience. This is not on the bottom of the screen. I am going to go live 9 o'clock Eastern time Saturday night to talk about a little bit about the races Saturday, but mainly about the Pick 5 Sunday. It'll be my Pick 5 at the Spa segment to talk about the late Pick 5 Sunday at Saratoga. But, and this is not on the screen, so let me take this off. And also, I'll be on the Matt Bernier show next week. Again, if you want to have a chance, and guys, I can only have like 3 or 4 people on, so it's going to be mainly random. If you'd like to be a chance to be a guest on my show on Saturday, or if you want to be a guest on my show, like on these shows tonight, I need you to be specific. So if you want to be only a guest on my show Saturday, where you don't have to do as much handicapping, but we'll watch the races live together and talk about the horses and the results, etc., email me. If you'd like to be also a guest handicapper on my show, especially if you haven't been so, on one of my flagship shows, like the one tonight, please make sure you also email me. Let me go ahead and put that on the screen one more time. There it is at the bottom. It just passed the screen. Again, you'll see the scroll on the bottom. You know it. It'll be coming on right here. H Kravitz Horse at Gmail. Here it is at the bottom of the screen. Right there it is. Right there. H Kravitz Horse at gmail.com. Email me and I'll get you on that list. Let's close out the show with a few comments here. All right, we are good. Just a bunch of things. Ladies and gentlemen, had a lot of fun. When I don't have a guest, I've got to try to create my own humor. We had a lot of fun. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Again, we need more people. Guys, my ultimate goal is to get 1,000 subscribers. That's my ultimate goal. Not because I have a chance of starting to get paid on YouTube, which is true, but honestly, I'm not going to make a living on YouTube. That's not going to happen for me. I've come to that realization. It's cool. My goal at some point would be able to get to 1,000 subscribers. That'd be awesome. Please call your friends, your neighbors. Who cares if they like horse racing? Doesn't matter. Just tell them to type in HHH Racing Podcast in the YouTube search bar and hit the subscribe button. That's it. In about 6 months, I've gone from basically 0 to 430. So in theory, it's going to take me another 6, 7, 8 months. I don't know. We'll see. And if it never happens, that's okay too. Also, that race day blog. If you're not, there are a lot of people that did not purchase the race day blog. Look in the description below the video player for details. I really think it's cheap, guys. It's $12.99 for the whole month. I give a lot more detailed analysis of ABC tickets. I also talk about other pick fives throughout the country. We've had successes with spot plays, price plays. Anyway, I really believe the race day blog would be very beneficial for you. Ladies and gentlemen, that is all. I will have a look out for me on Twitter because that's really the only way for me to announce stuff. But plan on go to my YouTube channel also because that's where you'll see the setup for the live show. So if you go to my YouTube channel in the next 36 hours and you look at where there are live shows, if you see an episode 72 of the live Pick 5 show on Saturday, you'll know it's going to happen. But I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. It would be, again, starting approximately 4:30 Saturday afternoon to watch the Grade 1 races live. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Howard Kravitz and episode 71 of the HHH Racing Podcast. Thanks for joining me for a fun, entertaining show. Most importantly, crush that late pick 5 on Saturday, and I hope you can join me, get all your friends to watch our first ever live show covering those grade 1s on Saturday at the Spa. Take care, everyone. Have a great night and good luck.